Wait, don't scroll past this. This message found you for a reason. You didn't stumble here. You were summoned. There's something holy wrapped in these words, and your spirit is about to recognize it before your mind can explain it. If your heart's been restless, if your soul's been whispering, something is coming. This is it. This is a divine transmission. Heaven is speaking. Archangel Michael is moving, and what you're about to read will not leave you the same. If this speaks to you, don't let it stop here. There's more where this came from. More revelation, more confirmation, more supernatural alignment just waiting to reach you. Subscribe now and stay connected to this divine flow, because what heaven has started in you, it's only just begun. And trust me, you don't want to miss what's next. Let your inbox become a sacred space for miracles. Stay in the light. Stay in the Word. Stay ready. Subscribe now. Your spirit will thank you. Archangel Michael says, I order you to open this right now. God says, this is about you. You will be moving in July. You will not be packing your bags. Open it quickly. Asterisk, asterisk. Have you ever had the feeling that something bigger than you is watching over you? Not just watching, but aligning every second, whispering through the silence, writing signs on the walls of your life. That's not your imagination. This moment isn't random. You were pulled here. You didn't find this by accident. You were summoned. God is speaking. I am Michael, and I'm not asking. I'm commanding you to listen with your heart wide open, because something holy is rising up in your life. You've been asking, haven't you? Praying in the dark, whispering those secret hopes into your pillow at night. You've been walking through seasons with weight on your shoulders that no one else sees. You've smiled through storms. You've waited without a guarantee. But now heaven is moving. You will not leave this message the same. You're not going to pack a single bag. July isn't about boxes or moving trucks or suitcases. It's about destiny. God isn't relocating you by the strength of your hands. He's carrying you on the wings of divine intervention. The shift coming into your life isn't small. It's seismic, and it begins now. The atmosphere around your life is changing. You're standing on the border of something breathtaking. You may not see it yet, but you've been chosen to experience a divine upgrade, a supernatural relocation. A chapter so wildly different it won't even make sense to your logical mind. You won't be climbing ladders the way you used to. You won't be begging doors to open anymore. You won't be trying to convince the world of your worth, because heaven has already approved you. This season isn't about proving anything. It's about receiving everything. And that's why I had to speak now. There are angelic assignments being released over your life even while you read these words. This moment is an activation, a heavenly subscription to the miraculous. You don't have to sign up. You were born for it. You are entering a new atmosphere of divine surprises. Let me be clear. This isn't about fixing your life. This is about transforming it. The phone calls you weren't expecting are coming. The relationships that drained you are being removed. The opportunities that wouldn't open are now being thrust open with force. Not because you fought harder, but because it's your time. You've passed unseen tests. You've prayed prayers that only heaven heard. And now God says, enough delay. It's time. Feel that? That shiver down your spine. That's not emotion. That's the divine confirming what your soul already knows. This is your message. This is not hype. This is holy. July will mark you. God is not asking for your effort. He's asking for your attention. You won't be doing the lifting. You'll be doing the receiving. There are divine alignments entering your life that will feel like a dream, but they're not dreams. They're instructions answered, prayers returned. Heaven's reward for your faithfulness in the quiet seasons. It's already done in the spirit. You are being repositioned without moving a muscle. Don't try to figure it out. Just open yourself. This isn't about hustle anymore. This is about surrender. You've been so strong for so long, but now God says, let me be strong for you. Angels have already gone ahead of you. Roads are being cleared. The no you got before wasn't rejection. It was divine timing in disguise. And the yes that's coming, it won't be earned by toil. It will arrive on the wings of favor. God has declared a holy reversal. Where you saw endings, He's planting beginnings. Where you experience betrayal, He's inserting covenant. Where there's been silence, there will be songs of deliverance. Do you know who you are? You're not forgotten. You're foretold. You're not behind. You're on divine schedule. And this isn't just encouragement. It's a prophetic activation. Your old life is being folded like yesterday's script. A new plot has been written and the pen isn't in your hand. It's in God's. That's why this transition will feel strange. You won't recognize some of the people walking away. Let them go. Their chapter ended when your elevation began. What's ahead doesn't require old baggage. That's why you're not packing. That's why you're not dragging. Because God is transporting you into a dimension that your past can't access. I'm not just telling you something good is coming. I'm telling you it's here. Angelic movement is circling you now. I was sent to confirm it. The tug in your spirit, that's not anxiety. That's the glory of God inching closer. Heaven is within reach. Stay open. Even now, there are miracle moments waiting to intersect your timeline. And when they arrive, it won't make sense to your logic, but your soul will remember, this is what I prayed for. No, you're not too late. No, you didn't miss it. No, it's not over. It's starting. The shift in July is not symbolic. It is literal. It is spiritual. It is irreversible. You're not being visited. You're being claimed. You are a marked one, a favored one, a chosen one. Not because of your perfection, but because of your yes. Heaven doesn't need you to understand. It only needs your agreement. Say yes. Say yes to what scares you. Say yes to what calls you. Say yes even when the path is hidden, because God doesn't need you to see the road. He is the road. This is your activation. You are not where you used to be, and you will never return there again. And when it begins, when the move happens, when the miracles show up, when the doors fling open, don't act surprised. You knew. You've always known. You were just waiting for this moment. And now it's here. Your next is not coming. Drop a $20 super thanks if this video helped you. Your support keeps me motivated. It's already done. Watch heaven unfold. You won't have to force it. You won't have to chase it. You won't have to beg for it. You'll just have to believe. The miracle is already moving toward you. This is your confirmation. This is your divine message. You are being carried by glory. Open it quickly. You're still here, and that's no accident. If your spirit is stirring right now, if your heart feels like it's expanding in your chest, then you already know there's something in these words that your soul has been waiting to hear for a long, long time. You didn't stumble into this moment. You were drawn into it, because what's coming into your life is bigger than what's leaving. The shift in July isn't just a change of season. It's a change of spiritual authority. It's where you stop asking for what was already yours and start receiving what has always been waiting for you. Archangel Michael is still speaking. Don't look away. You're in the middle of a divine conversation. This is not about fixing your life around the edges. This is about God rewriting the entire blueprint. A new dimension of purpose is calling you forward, and you can't ignore it anymore. You don't fit in the places you used to. You don't laugh the way you did in rooms that used to thrill you. You've been shedding skins, haven't you? Outgrowing mindsets, outpacing the things that once defined you. That's why it's been uncomfortable. That's why you felt stretched. That's why nothing old satisfies you anymore. Because you're not who you were. And that's a miracle in itself. The discomfort wasn't punishment. It was preparation. Heaven doesn't prune what isn't about to grow. And you've been growing silently under the surface for years. Seeds planted in pain. Roots watered by tears no one saw. You thought you were being buried, but now you're breaking through. Don't resist it. Don't explain it away. This shift was sent to elevate you, not exhaust you. So, stop questioning whether you're ready. Heaven didn't ask if you were qualified. Heaven declared, "You are chosen." You don't need permission from anyone in your past to step into your future. Let them talk. Let them wonder. Let them question how it happened so fast. You know the truth. It didn't happen fast at all. You've been faithful when no one clapped. You kept showing up when nothing changed. You've poured out love when you were barely surviving. Now God is pouring it all back. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. You're not being elevated because you earned it. You're being elevated because you endured it. And here's the secret. The move that's happening in your life isn't about geography. It's about alignment. The people, the opportunities, the favor. It's all clicking into place like divine clockwork. That business idea that's been nudging you from the corner of your soul. It's time. That whisper to speak, to share, to teach, to write, to go. That wasn't your imagination. It was instruction. The relationship you've been quietly healing from, you're not going back. You're being called forward. This is not just a new chapter. It's a new book. The rules are different now. Your name is being mentioned in rooms your feet haven't walked into yet. Your prayers have already unlocked doors you don't even know exist. And when it all begins to unfold, don't shrink back. Don't apologize for your glow. Don't dim down to make others feel safe. You didn't walk through all of that pain to play small now. You were born for this moment. That's why nothing else has ever satisfied you, because this was always your calling. And you can feel it now, can't you? Your heart is racing, not with fear, but with recognition. This is the moment where you finally remember who you are. Not who the world told you to be. Not who your trauma taught you to protect. Not who you pretended to be just to survive, but who you really are underneath it all. A holy vessel for glory, hand-picked by heaven, marked with divine light. And if you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. If you've been begging for confirmation, this is it. If you've been wondering if the delay was denial, hear me now. It was divine orchestration, because the version of you that is rising in this moment, that version was worth waiting for. You don't need another sign. You are the sign, and God is about to make a spectacle of grace through your life. The shift is happening with or without your understanding. So choose to move with it. Choose to trust what you cannot trace. Choose to let go of what no longer fits. You're not crazy for believing in more. You're not foolish for waiting in faith. You're not alone in your longing. God saw it all, and He has not forgotten one drop of your obedience. Everything is coming full circle. The promises, the dreams, the visions you tucked away because life got too loud. He's blowing on the embers again. Feel that? That warmth in your chest. That's divine fire. And it's about to light up everything around you. This isn't hype. This is heaven. The things you thought were lost, they're being resurrected. The people you thought you'd never meet, they're being assigned. The life you thought you missed is waiting just around the corner. Don't pack your bags. Don't map out the details. Don't overthink the unfolding. Just say yes. Let your spirit answer before your mind catches up. Because when God moves like this, it's never according to your timeline. It's always aligned with eternal design. You're not being asked to strive. You're being invited to soar. So breathe, release the weight, and trust that everything is about to change for the better, for the divine, for the holy. You've waited long enough. July is not just a month. It is a movement, and it has your name written all over it. Now go live like it's already done, because it is. You're moving without packing, carried by glory, sent by heaven, protected by angels, watched by God. You've just entered a new realm, and nothing will ever be the same. And so we continue, not because there's more to say, but because your spirit needs time to catch up with what heaven already knows. You're not reading this by chance. You're reading this because the realm of the divine is holding its breath, watching you step closer to your appointed moment. The page is already turned. The oil is already flowing. The angels are still hovering. And Archangel Michael has not moved from your side. There's a whisper being released over your life even now, and it's saying it's safe now. You can believe again. Yes, you can believe again in love that doesn't leave, in opportunities that don't disappear, in joy that doesn't come with a price. in peace that doesn't feel borrowed. You can believe in the kind of life where your laughter isn't forced, where your presence is celebrated, where your needs are met without you begging to be seen. Because this shift in July, it's more than a physical change. It's a spiritual restoration, a divine recalibration. God is putting you back in alignment, not the version of you who shrank to fit in, not the version who played humble to survive, but the real you, the anointed one, the gifted one, the one who walks with angels and carries heaven in your voice. You've outgrown the smallness. You've outgrown the silence. You've outgrown the people who only saw your pain but never your purpose. Let them stare. Let them question. Let them wonder how you rose when everything around you tried to bury you. You don't owe explanations to anyone because heaven already declared you are risen. This shift is not a maybe. It is a manifestation. The things you thought you lost, they're returning, but not in the same form. They're returning bigger, better, brighter. They're returning wrapped in God's timing, not man's permission. You will not have to ask twice. You will not have to convince anyone of your worth. You will not have to chase what's been assigned. Everything meant for you is being magnetized by your faith. Even now, you are attracting answers. Even now, the doors are unlocking from the inside. You won't even need a key because your name was already spoken in the room. Let that settle in your spirit for a moment. The rooms you were too afraid to dream of, you've already been introduced in the spirit. The places you disqualified yourself from, they were built with you in mind. Your hesitation doesn't cancel heaven's agenda. And your delay does not disqualify you from destiny. You didn't miss it. You weren't late. You weren't forgotten. You were being prepared for the perfect unveiling. This is not hype. This is holy. And that's why Archangel Michael is still standing in your space, sword drawn, wings wide, speaking directly to your doubt. Enough. You've suffered long enough. You've questioned long enough. You've wept long enough. Now rise, move, open, align. Say yes to the shift that has already been written in your scroll. Because heaven has a record of you. There is not one forgotten seed you've sown in secret that won't bloom in this season. The prayers you whispered through clenched teeth. The nights you stayed up wearing with shadows no one else could see. The times you said, "I'm okay," when you were actually crumbling. Heaven saw every single one. And God didn't just collect your tears. He converted them into oil, into fire, into favor, into power. This is your repayment season. Double for your trouble, beauty for your ashes, joy for your mourning. And if that sounds too good to be true, good. That's how you know it's God. Because God doesn't move small. He doesn't bless in bits. He doesn't answer prayers halfway. He overwhelms. He overtakes. He overflows. And that's exactly what July is bringing. Overflow. Not because you chased it, but because you endured long enough to receive it. Now watch. Watch how quickly it unfolds. Watch how strangers turn into destiny partners. Watch how ideas you scribbled in journals begin to fund themselves. Watch how rooms begin to shift the moment you walk in. because the anointing on your life will not let anything stay the same. You are disruptive by design. You are powerful by nature. You are beloved by heaven. And that love is what's moving you now. You don't need a plan. You don't need a strategy. You don't need approval. You only need one thing: obedience. The next instruction might feel crazy. It might not make sense. It might not fit your timeline. Do it anyway. Call them. Say yes. Say no. Apply. Leave. Begin. And trust. Leap. Heaven is not obligated to explain. It is only here to move. And you, my dear one, you were born to move mountains. Don't apologize for what's rising in you. Don't second-guess what God has confirmed. Don't shrink when the spotlight of destiny shines down. You didn't survive all that to disappear. Now you're not fading. You're finally being seen. So open wide. Open your spirit. Open your mouth. Open your hands. Because you are being given what can only be received. This is not about striving anymore. This is not about fighting anymore. This is not about fixing. This is about flowing. The rivers of heaven are rushing in your direction. The tides are turning in your favor. You won't have to chase. You won't have to chase. Let that echo in your spirit. You won't have to chase because God is bringing it to you by spirit through power and love. This is what it means to be carried. This is what it means to be chosen. You're not walking out of July the same. You're stepping out with a crown you didn't ask for, but one that fits you perfectly. You're stepping into a life you didn't earn, but one you were born for. And you'll know it was God, because when the doors open, when the light hits, when the favor falls, when the tears pour, you'll say, "This could only have been God." And the heavens will smile because they already knew. And Archangel Michael will step back, his work complete, sword still gleaming with glory, and he will whisper, "It is done." And so it is. Ask Chat GPT tools. And still the message continues because your soul isn't just listening. It's remembering. There are things being awakened in you right now that have been dormant for years. Not dead, not gone, just waiting. Waiting for this exact moment. Waiting for this divine alignment. Waiting for you to be ready. And now you are. You are ready to become what you once only envisioned in prayer. There was always something in you that knew you were different. Wasn't there? Even as a child, even before you had language for it, before the world tried to dull your light, before the heartbreak, the loss, the betrayal, you carried something rare, a knowing, a whisper, a fire. And now, after all the sifting, all the shaping, all the quiet suffering, that fire is igniting again. You are not who you were. You're stronger now, not just in body but in spirit. You've tasted sorrow. You've faced giants. You've watched things you loved be torn from your hands. But you never let go of hope. Not really. Even in the middle of your breaking, something in you said, "There's still more. There has to be more." And that something, that was heaven. That was God's voice echoing in the deepest chamber of your being, calling you through the storm, pulling you through the dark until you arrived here. Now, this moment, July, is not the beginning of something small. It is the evidence of something eternal. You are stepping into what was always meant to be yours, but now you're strong enough to carry it. The delay wasn't denial. It was divine mercy. You weren't being punished. You were being protected. There are things you begged God for that He didn't give. And now you understand why. Because what's coming is greater than what you asked for. There are some things that would have broken you if they had arrived too early, but not anymore. You are ready now. Not perfect, but ready. Ready to walk in rooms with unshakable peace. Ready to speak with a voice you once silenced. Ready to love without self-betrayal. Ready to be seen, known, received, and respected without lowering your standards. You're not stepping into this season begging. You're stepping in crowned. The shift in July doesn't look like hustle. It looks like rest. Not laziness. Not stillness, but holy rest. The kind that says, God's got this. I don't have to control it anymore. You've carried the weight long enough. You've strategized, sacrificed, overthought, overperformed. You've done it all. And now heaven is saying, put it down. Put down the need to be understood. Put down the burden to fix what wasn't yours to carry. Put down the fear of being too much or not enough. God is not asking you to carry the outcome. He's asking you to show up in faith. That's all. Just show up. Say yes to the mystery. Say yes to the miracle. Say yes to the life that feels too good to be true because it's real. The kind of peace that doesn't make sense. It's yours now. The kind of favor that turns heads. Yours. The kind of joy that breaks generational curses. It's already been released. But you must receive it. You must open your arms and drop your walls. You must stop clinging to the familiar just because it feels safe. You weren't made to live in survival mode. You were made to thrive in surrender. God is not calling you to figure it out. He's calling you to walk it out. Step by step, breath by breath, light by light. And the lights are turning on. Can you feel that? The air around you is different now. The atmosphere has shifted. You've moved from waiting to receiving, from striving to soaring, from weeping to witnessing. You're about to witness what happens when heaven invades a life that wouldn't quit. You're about to witness what happens when God rewards the ones who stayed faithful in the fire. You're about to see why the enemy fought you so hard. Because he knew. He knew this moment was coming. He knew your name was written into the scroll of heaven. He knew the impact your presence would carry. That your breakthrough wouldn't just bless you. It would break chains for generations after you. That your voice would wake others up. That your story would redeem others who had almost given up. You're not just rising for you. You're rising for everyone tied to your obedience. And that's why you couldn't give up even when you wanted to. That's why you kept checking the horizon, looking for signs, holding on when the world said, let go. Because something deep inside you knew this is not how my story ends. And you were right. It ends with glory. It ends with honor. It ends with full circle restoration where every piece of pain becomes a building block of your purpose. And now your life is about to shine like never before. You will be known not by your mistakes but by your miracles. You will be remembered not by your pain but by your power. You will walk through doors no one thought you qualified for. And you won't even have to knock. Heaven will open them for you. You will carry peace into places where chaos reigned. You will speak and rooms will shift. You will love again, not cautiously but boldly. You will live again, not just survive, because this is your time. Heaven has moved. Angels are still on assignment. Archangel Michael stands guard. God has spoken. Now all that's left is for you to believe it, to receive it, to live it, and to remember you never had to chase what was already yours. It's already done, and nothing will ever be the same. You're still here, still breathing in the words like air, like water, like something your soul has been starving for. That's how you know this isn't just language. This is life. Something sacred is unfolding right here as you read. Not in the future, not one day, but now. Because what's moving toward you in this very moment is not man-made. It's not something you can earn, orchestrate, or delay. It's heaven-timed, heaven-sent, heaven-sealed, and it's already yours. You didn't just read your way into this miracle. You were led here, and the God who led you here is about to do the very thing you were sure could never happen. He's about to make all things new. Yes, even that. Even the part of your story you don't talk about. The part you still flinch at when it comes up. The part you tried to bury beneath your strength, your silence, your survival. God's not afraid of that part. In fact, that's where He's planting the greatest beauty. He's using what broke you to build you. He's using what nearly ended you to elevate you. Because what others saw as a grave, heaven saw as good ground. So don't curse the breaking. Don't resent the silence. Don't regret the long nights. You were being prepared in the dark for what will shine in the light. And now the light is here. This is the part where your voice returns. This is the part where your confidence comes back. Not the loud forced kind, but the quiet deep knowing of who you are and who SSE you are. This is the part where you start walking like someone who's already seen the outcome because you have. You've seen it in your dreams. You've felt it in your gut. You've known it in the stillness that life wasn't done with you, that God hadn't finished speaking, that your story wasn't over. And here you are standing in the evidence. Because the moment you said yes, truly, deeply yes, the heavens responded with movement. That delay you felt, it wasn't punishment. It was God building a foundation strong enough to hold what's coming. You're not being lifted into another season. You're being launched into another dimension. That's why you feel the stretch. That's why the warfare got louder before the miracle hit. Because when you're close to something holy, everything false will try to stop you. But nothing can stop what's already been spoken. You're not waiting on the miracle. The miracle is waiting on you. It's been sitting outside the door of your obedience. It's been pacing in the hallways of your prayers. And now it's being released not by force, but by faith. The kind of faith you've been building quietly in the dark, in the silence, in the moments no one applauded. You see, what's coming to you isn't random. It's harvest. You didn't skip steps. You didn't cheat your way here. You bled for this. You wept for this. You waited when others ran ahead. And heaven took notes. Heaven saw you forgive what hurt you. Heaven saw you love what abandoned you. Heaven saw you bless others when you had barely enough to hold yourself up. And now heaven is rewarding you openly. This is not karma. This is covenant. This is not coincidence. This is confirmation. You are exactly where you need to be. And July is the doorway, but not a normal door. No, this is one of those rare supernatural thresholds you only pass through once in a lifetime. The kind where once you step through, nothing behind you fits anymore. The pain no longer defines you. The fear no longer binds you. The shame no longer speaks. The poverty, the scarcity, the confusion, it all ends here. Because God isn't just giving you a new season. He's giving you a new name. Not the one they used when they underestimated you. Not the one your trauma used to call you. Not the name of victim, struggler, underdog. He's calling you blessed, risen, favored, trusted, chosen. You didn't even know heaven could trust you this much. But it does, because your pain did not harden you. It humbled you. And God can use a humble vessel in ways the proud will never understand. So don't be surprised when the blessings seem too big. Don't be shocked when the answers come so fast they leave your logic gasping. Don't be confused when the favor flows to you without a resume, a network, or a plan. Because this is what grace looks like. It doesn't knock gently. It overtakes. And when it comes, it doesn't just restore, it multiplies. So prepare. Prepare to be seen. Not for the version of you that survived, but for the version of you that was born to shine. Prepare for divine partnerships, holy alignments, supernatural provisions. Prepare for sudden clarity, for peace that quiets years of confusion in a single breath. Prepare for movement, not the kind you force, but the kind that carries you like a river made of light. Because that's what's happening now. Right now, even as you read, heaven is touching earth. Your name is being whispered in divine chambers. Your breakthrough is being scheduled into real time. Angels are clearing paths before you even arrive. And all you're being asked to do, trust. Not because it's easy, but because it's already done. And when the miracles begin to land one after another faster than your hands can hold, just remember, you didn't earn it. You aligned with it. You didn't force it. You flowed with it. You didn't chase it. You were carried into it because you, beloved, were never meant to strive. You were born to rise. Ask ChatGPT. Yes, there's still more because heaven doesn't run out. The oil doesn't stop flowing until every vessel is full. And your heart, it's still wide open, still receiving, still being filled with truth. Your spirit has been starved for in a world that always asked you to prove your worth. But heaven doesn't require proof. It responds to presence. So keep receiving, because what's coming next will not ask for credentials. It will only ask for obedience. What's coming next will not measure your past. It will measure your readiness. And you, beloved, are ready. You're not perfect, but your heart is positioned. You're not fearless, but you're willing. You're not ahead, but you're aligned. And alignment always outruns hustle. Do you understand what's happening here? You're not just stepping into a blessing. You're stepping into a divine identity. God isn't just changing your situation. He's changing how you see yourself in the situation. No more smallnessfulness. No more apology. No more watering down your wonder to make others comfortable. Because the version of you that played small, that version couldn't hold what's coming. That version of you that waited to be picked, that version wasn't built for this level of glory. So heaven rewrote your story. And now it's time. Time to stand. Time to own your oil. Time to walk like the ground beneath your feet has been assigned to your name because it has. You're not entering rooms hoping they'll see your value. You're entering rooms carrying kingdom weight. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to strive, stretch, scream, or shrink. You only need to be fully, wholly, freely. Because God is not blessing your mask. He's blessing the real you, the one who's been forged in fire, made in glory, kissed by resilience. The one who stood when it would have been easier to hide. The one who still believed when there was no reason left to. That version of you is unstoppable. Because that version of you is anointed. And the anointing is not just a feeling. It's an assignment. You've been anointed for this very moment to break what others bowed to heal what others handed down, to rebuild what others left in ruins, to declare what others were too afraid to say. You've been chosen to carry light into the darkest places, not just for yourself, but for generations. That's why the battle was so intense. That's why the pressure nearly broke you. Because your breakthrough isn't just for you. It's for every life that will touch yours. So don't minimize what you've overcome. You are living proof that resurrection is real. You are walking evidence that God can take ashes and make something breathtaking. And now God is writing the part of your story that will not make sense to anyone who didn't see your wilderness. You're about to become unrecognizable, not because you've changed, but because you've returned to who you truly are. You're not moving by logic anymore. You're moving by unction, by spirit, by fire. And fire doesn't ask permission, it consumes. So let it burn away what can't come with you. Let it refine the last pieces of fear that tried to hide behind your strength. Let it ignite every dream you buried because life got too heavy. This is the fire of becoming. And you're not being destroyed, you're being defined. Watch how things align now without effort. Watch how doors swing wide with no key. Watch how people show up in your life who see you with spiritual eyes and call you by your destiny, not your past. Watch how your voice begins to carry weight. Watch how the rooms shift when you speak. This isn't ego. This is elevation. This is what it looks like to move in rhythm with heaven. The miracles won't stop. The provision won't dry up. Drop a $20 super thanks if this video helped you. Your support keeps me motivated. The clarity won't fade because when God starts a thing, He finishes it. And what He started in you is glorious. Don't you see? You're in the middle of answered prayers right now. They may not look how you imagined them, but they're here. They may not come packaged the way you expected, but they're wrapped in God's fingerprints. And you'll know it's Him by the peace that rests in your chest like a gentle wind whispering, "You're safe now. You made it. You made it through what tried to end you. You made it through the shadows. You made it through the ache. And now you're walking into your assignment. This is your harvest. And harvest doesn't require striving, only reaping. So, open your hands, open your heart, open your eyes, because you're about to see heaven pour out in ways you didn't even think to ask for. Pressed down, shaken together, running over, uncontainable. You'll laugh again without guilt. You'll rest without fear. You'll rise without hesitation because God has gone before you. And the road is clear. No, you're not lucky. You're led. And where you're being led now, it's more than a promise. It's a fulfilled prophecy. And you are the living proof. And still the river flows. Because the Spirit does not stop when the soul is still drinking. There's more. More for you to receive. More to awaken inside you. More to remember about who you truly are beneath the dust of delay and the weight of all that tried to keep you stuck. You are not stuck. You were never stuck. You were stationed divinely, precisely, perfectly in the pause before the promise. And now the pause is over. The wait has been holy, but the move is heavenly. This is not your breakthrough season. This is your becoming season. God is not just breaking you into blessings. He is revealing you to the world. The version of you that heaven always knew. The version of you that couldn't emerge until the shaking stopped. The version that carries peace in one hand and fire in the other. A storm silencer, a barrier breaker, a carrier of presence. And now the time of hiding is over. You are not being planted anymore. You're being presented. Presented not just to people but to purpose. To the vision that terrified you but never let you go. To the calling that kept you up at night. To the voice that you tried to silence to fit in with people who were never assigned to your destiny. That season is over. You don't need to be understood by them. You don't need to be validated by the ones who only saw your wounds. You are not here for their applause. You are here for heaven's assignment. And your assignment is opening in real time. Right now, as you read this, chains are falling off you. Ideas are waking up. Confidence is rising like the morning sun. Can you feel it? That lightness in your chest, that's freedom. That's what it feels like to step out of the shell of survival and into the skin of purpose. You're no longer just hoping for things to change. You're becoming the change. You are the answered prayer. You are the generational shift. You are the proof that surrender is more powerful than striving. And where you are headed now, you cannot carry the old definitions of yourself. You must release the labels life gave you in your lowest moments. You are no longer the rejected one, no longer the one who was passed over, no longer the one who almost made it. You are the chosen, the crowned, the called, the light in rooms that forgot how to hope. Do not be afraid of what's rising in you now. Do not silence it just because it's unfamiliar. You prayed for this. You bled for this. You built altars in private for this very moment. And now God is answering. Not with whispers, but with wonders. Not with a trickle, but with a torrent. You're about to witness the kind of favor that cannot be explained, only experienced. Because you didn't ask for a spotlight. You asked for significance. And heaven always honors the pure heart. So don't be surprised when people start asking, "How did this happen for you?" You'll smile, not with arrogance, but with awe. Because you'll know it wasn't strategy. It wasn't status. It wasn't connections or credentials or compromise. It was God. God did it. God brought the connections. God brought the clarity. God brought the provision when you were down to nothing. God brought the opportunity after every door slammed shut. And now you're not just walking in favor. You're covered by it. There is a canopy of grace over you now. A divine shield, a supernatural escort. You don't have to announce yourself anymore. Heaven is doing it for you. You don't need to prove your worth. Heaven already confirmed it. You don't need to ask if you're qualified. Heaven already anointed you. An anointing trumps approval. So walk boldly. Say yes before it makes sense. Take the step before the path is clear. Write the book. Launch the business. Leave the space that drained you. Embrace the love you thought was too good to be true. Make the move even if you don't feel ready. You're more than ready. You're released. This is the release of favor, of abundance, of identity, of everything that was locked up behind doors that only obedience can open. And now that you've said yes, every locked place must open. Every delay must end. Every dry place must become a well. Every wilderness must become a garden. You are no longer just waiting for God to show up. God is waiting for you to walk in what He's already released. No more hesitation. No more playing small. No more postponing the life you were created to live. You're not who you were when you entered this message. You've shifted. You've aligned. You've remembered. And that remembrance has power. Because when you know who you are, the world has to adjust. The lies can no longer stick. The fear can no longer control. The past can no longer speak louder than your future. Because your future is not far off. It's now. The page has turned. The script has changed. And the glory is just beginning. So move, beloved, not in panic, but in purpose. Not in striving, but in stillness. Because what's chasing you now isn't fear, it's favor. What's overtaking you isn't darkness, it's destiny. And what's carrying you isn't your own strength. It's the hand of God, and His hand never fails. Not yesterday, not today, not ever. Ask ChatGPT tools. And now take a breath not of relief but of release, because what needed to be said has been spoken. What needed to awaken has been stirred, and what needed to break has broken. You are not walking forward as the same version of you that started this message. You've been realigned, re-entered, reignited. You've been seen by heaven, spoken to by spirit, and shielded by glory. There is no turning back. Not now, not ever. So walk forward with light in your eyes and fire in your bones, with angels beside you and purpose before you, with confidence that doesn't shout but shifts atmospheres, because you're not waiting for the miracle anymore. You are the miracle walking, and all of heaven is watching you with joy. Archangel Michael still stands beside you, not to protect you from what's ahead, but to remind you you're no longer alone. You never were. And now the invitation is open. If this word stirred something deep in you, if your spirit whispered, "This was for me," then don't let the connection end here. Subscribe now, not just to stay informed, but to stay aligned. To receive messages like this, not once, but in every season where your soul needs the reminder you are chosen. You are rising. You are ready. Stay with us, because the miracles are only just beginning. And heaven, oh yes, heaven, still has so much more to say to you. Ask ChatGPT.